Hello everyone and welcome to the Glassmith podcast. You know me, it's Tanna. I'm here with my friend Keller. We've got Pat and we've got Billy. And today we're in our studio. I mean, we've been in our studio the past couple of podcasts, but we're painting this very beautiful backdrop. Shout out to Keller and Caitlin and Coda. It's not quite finished yet, but we're getting in the groove of things.
Welcome, friends.
So first off, we really wanted to talk about aliens. I know that we've all heard the news of everything that's been going on, especially in America with unidentified flying objects, but Billy, I think you could probably explain it a little bit better.
So I'd say that most of the recent news is because there was this congressional hearing about UFOs where some former, I guess they called them whistleblowers, were talking about all the UFO and alien stuff they saw. And like one of the crafts they said, like one of the people said that they couldn't say that it wasn't biological matter. Like I guess which in reverse is that there was biological matter on the plane.
Yeah.
But overall, I think UFOs have been like something that have caught the public's imagination for a long time. And shoot, I'm not exactly sure where I lie on it. Like if I think, like I would imagine there's alien life, but I don't know if aliens are coming to visit us.
Yeah.
Pat, what do you have to say on this?
Well, I mean, I watched a little bit of the hearing, so I kind of heard their testimonies. It sounds similar to like everything else that's come out about it. You know, like impossible movement, like just things that defy like our laws of physics that we know. I do think there's good reason to believe, like personally, like it could be military technology, you know, us as like a public, yeah, like we don't really know what the military's got going on, you know, like they every technology that we use, like things like GPS and stuff, were all developed through the military. So, you know, it could be that, it could be like a media bait, because, you know, UFOs have always just come up in the media, and it's something that a lot of people seem to be interested in. So, you know, like there's always people that believe, you know, the media is trying to like guide people's like, you know, like their focus, you know.
They're trying to distract us.
Yeah, distract us.
I could definitely see that. What I saw that I thought was really interesting the other day, it was a map of all the reported UFO sightings of the world. Yeah. And like, they're mainly all in the United States. Almost like it was like little red dots, and like the whole United States was red, and then like in other countries it was like just here and there. You know what I'm saying? So what is it? Like I feel like it plays back into what you just said. Like what is it that makes Americans see UFOs so much compared to everybody else?
It could just be that we created the quarter pounder, and you know, like the aliens,
they're
like,
on their way.
Yeah, they know where to get a quarter pounder with cheese for like less than $10, and that'd be here. I mean that, but also the Americans could just be like a creative group of people, you know, maybe since we do have a bigger media than most countries, since we do have more freedom of expression, a lot of these UFO sightings could be people, you know, who just want to like get some attention real quick, or it could be more than that. Maybe
our technology is better. You're right. So we have all the technology to make these things that do this stuff, and we're just kind of and then anytime somebody starts to talk too loud, they're like, just blame it on UFOs.
Yeah,
I think
maybe Americans are just like a little bit crazier,
like a mind virus.
Yeah, like maybe it is the military. They're just like testing out their new stuff, and like that's literally what happens. Like they're like, keep quiet, like blaming it on the UFOs, because like what else are you gonna like? You don't want to believe that you're being lied to about like the capabilities that we have of like what you said, like defying our own laws of physics and like gravity and shit. Like there's just no way that you want to believe that like there's more than we know.
Yeah.
But it would make sense. I definitely think that there's like aliens, so would you say, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they're definitely hiding something, right? So like for the longest, they were like, Area 51's not real, you know, like it's just this thing that, you know, the public has created, you know, like to make things make sense, and people are like, what do you mean? It's like literally right there, there's a sign for it. So eventually they were like, okay, fine, but it's just a military base, you know, like we don't keep like aliens in test tubes here or things like that. But, you know, that's like the hub. I feel like that and kind of the area where you're from is where most of these sightings, most of which are in America, that's kind
where
of like...
Where are you from, Billy?
Oh, New Mexico, the desert south, New Mexico, but like I agree, like the desert Southwest is where like there's the most, again, like where there's the most testing, the most sightings, like the most people that have, also like the most people that have that fantasy. You know what I mean? So like that's like, it's an area that's probably a hotbed. You guys remember when they were gonna storm?
Yeah.
They never did. They never went through with it.
I think people showed up.
No one like bum rushed in.
Yeah, they were like, we'll kill you.
Because they were waiting out there with like AK-47s and shit. Like, that would have been silly.
The whole country was excited.
Yeah,
you know,
we wanted to find out.
Well, because we felt like we were being lied to.
Yeah,
and I feel like that's kind of, why people are so interested in this now. Because it's like, oh my God,
they're actually
from the government is like aliens are real.
But going off that, since they did confirm that UFOs are real, but what is a UFO? Is it alien or not? But like, if it is confirmed that aliens are real and that the government has known about it, like, how do you think that will play over with the public, knowing that, because we've had like UFO crashes since like the late 60s and stuff. Yeah. So like, knowing that like the government has had this information of so like impossible things, these otherworldly forces that could be dangerous to public safety, and that they hold these things and don't tell us, like, how do you think that would play over in like public opinion?
That's very true, because I feel like people would be really mad thinking that they got lied to. But I feel like in a way, I don't know, not to say never trust the government, but like in my opinion, like I don't really believe everything that I hear. So even though they're like telling us this stuff, like I don't know if I really think that's like them like being more open, or if it's because they found out something worse and they're like, okay, we can give them this little, you know what I'm saying? They're like, the aliens are about to come anyways, we could at least let them know, like that we know, or something like that.
Invasion is imminent.
Like they're just planning on it.
It seems like secrets like that would be really hard, like large conspiracy type secrets like that, like a whole place called Area 51. Seems like it'd be a really hard secret to keep. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, how does it been around for this long without all sorts of people having their conversation?
This is so rude, Billy.
6 o'clock. Sorry, y'all. The Area 51 has like, there's this thing that's happening, and there's no how does it not leak out that this is what's happening? And then you would think that maybe the conspiracy is really just that big, where anytime that somebody tries to leak it out, they become the target of the operation.
They take them out
less
back.
And less people want to leak the information.
That would make a lot of sense. Because, like, I just think there's, like, a lot of people out there that know something. And, like, they've either gotten, like, bribed, NDA'd, or, like, killed. You know?
Like, you don't know Bob Lazar? Like the guy,
I've heard the name.
He was a guy who said, it's all like claimed, and I'm sure some people have dug deep and they say there's some proof, some people say there's no proof, but he did say he worked at Area 51, and he said he was in charge of identifying the technology on this aircraft that they recovered, and it was just, he was like sworn in and everything, like top like classified information here, and he was just mind blown, and like he was mind blown that this was something they were keeping from the public. And he came out with it. But, when he came out with this information, like, he made a documentary. He's got some movies. So, like, he's profiting off of it. Yeah. So I feel like that would lose your credibility. But he sells it as, like, a security. Like, this is security, that no one can come after him. Now that he's public, nobody that can come and, like, silence him, like I was saying.
Sort of, right? But, like, people are all, like, I don't know. If they wanted to get rid of him, they probably could.
It could be
good. It could be good for everybody to think there's this thing. And, like, the speculation, is it real, is it not real, is what it thrives on. So to have somebody leak out every once in a while, and then there's all this discrediting that goes on, and it can keep this conversation bubbling. Like, to go back to your previous point, like, if there is this kind of distraction operation that's going on, where every time the public gets curious about other stuff, you just kind of bubble aliens. You know what I mean? People are like, oh shit,
aliens. Yeah. No, I could definitely see that. Okay. Opinions over? Yeah.
Well,
Or you have more to say, Pat?
I love the talks of aliens, because like genuinely, I kind of think like, I don't know. I've seen something once, and it was like, what's scarier, like the fact that there is something out there, or that there's nothing out there? And like, those are our two options. Like, if there is other life, if there is like the possibility of other life, like that means, because of space and how big it is, like that means like life could be like, there's no limit to it. You don't know how advanced it could be, or how But
where you are on the scale.
And if we are the only life, then that means like that we were some like micro chance of like existing, and now we're just here.
It was like a 0.0001% chance that all of the atoms would be in the right place at the right temperature, and we just somehow got here. Or like some people that are religious, like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's also maybe a reason that like the U.S. government has like, if they really do know more, like why they keep it kind of under wraps is because like we're a very like Christian country, you know, especially within the government. So it's like letting that information out to people who like are super religious, like that would cause, like, you know what I'm saying? Because they believe that like we are the only life created by like a creator. And the fact that like they would be told like, no, there's other life, like it would be too much. I think it would cause a lot of like distrust. I feel like maybe at that point though, like that side of the public would like be more turned against the government. Like maybe it would be a good thing, because like then there would be distrust from all around, you know?
But I've met people at church who like just absolutely will not believe in dinosaurs, because like that's another form of life that they don't think
they can't fathom it.
And because it goes against like the code. So do you think like proof, like if proof does come out, like do you think that religion could suffer? Like do you think like there'd be like a massive movement either away from religion or maybe even towards religion? Like,
aliens.
That's their only hope.
Proof is hard. Like, it's hard.
Yeah.
Like, there is no proof, kind of. Like, it's like half the people are going to think it's full of shit no matter what. Like, you have to see it with your own eyes. But even then, you have to see it past your own eyes, because you have to see through the idea that, well, we created that. Or those are just special effects. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how all of it kind of works. Like, anything that's, like, hard to believe, they look at it later and they're like, that's impossible.
Especially with, like, AI and deep fakes now. Like, even if they had, like, recordings of someone in the government, like, admitting to it, it'd be like, well, is it real? Is it not real? Like, did someone make this on their computer?
Yeah. That's yeah. I would.
The aliens will have to invade before we believe in it.
And
I
like
think.
invade where we're at almost. Like if we like it's on the other side of the world, be like whatever. It's over the other side of the world.
That's horrible. Nah, I think I would be just as scared. I'd be like, oh my god.
I don't know.
They're on their way to us. Like, you don't think that they would?
I'd almost be like, oh man, that's
They'd
too bad.
go to the eastern hemisphere and just...
Too bad for that. It's like a hurricane, you know what I mean? Like, hurricane happens, you're like, well, shit, it fucking sucks to be there.
I hope they recover. Like,
I read somewhere that China, like if we come into contact with aliens, like via like radar detection, that China has like the biggest radar detector in like ever developed. So if aliens were to contact us that way, the Chinese government would know before any other country.
Damn.
So, you know.
So like it would actually maybe be possible that it would be on the other side of the world.
There's a chance, because you know, America's we're not the only people like searching for this type of answer.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a global thing.
Could be a win, like to get like
a win for humanity,
for a country to find the one.
I feel like in the movies, the aliens always come to America, and it's like I don't think so.
Why would they want to? Why would they choose?
Because we got some men in black. We got men in black.
Maybe we're like somebody's, like some alien's planet. You know what I mean? Like that we're protected by some alien who possesses what we are. You know what I mean? Like
we're like their little ant farm.
Like our thoughts on time are convoluted because we live 80 years. When in reality, some sort of foreign alien being could live a bazillion years. And then this little tiny bit of time to form some humans on their planet and fucking start this factory or mine or whatever. You know what I mean? Like whatever we don't understand that's happening here. Then they're like, oh, sweet. There's somebody just sitting right above us, waiting to get their money off of what they're growing here. You know what I mean?
I've heard.
We're just part of that process. We're just part of that process.
They're trying to make the perfect human.
Yeah. So then they send their scouts in. Maybe the scouts come in every once in a while
to check up on us.
Some shit's getting fucked up someplace, and they're like, "Oh, is it coming along good?" And then they go back, and they're like, "It's going good," or it's going bad.
Guys, you'll never believe it. Another war started.
But yeah, and then they got all these satellites around. Like Elon Musk got all the satellites around the whole fucking world. Like,
they're like, oh my god.
If you're an alien, you gotta have to know about that.
Twitter
And then you'd be like, well, that's my shit. You'd be like, look how far along they are. They got fucking little things going all around. If I was alien, you know what I mean?
yeah. If you were an alien,
maybe we are the alien. Maybe aliens aren't like, you know, maybe it's not life, but maybe it's like what makes us. Like maybe aliens are like this other dimensional consciousness that like gives us emotions and like art, because humans, like our intellect and our like consciousness and like acknowledgement of our consciousness just seems alien in like this world, because you see other living things like animals and they're just not like us. And like
I think about that a lot. I'm like, humans look so weird too. Like I feel like
not
you look
like
at
an octopus though.
but
Like you could imagine like a person
Yeah.
like, and then you like, you know what I mean, like you've seen the shit where like a person changes into the animal over time.
But I
So
think
it's like
like
we have the same kind of functions as like a lot of animals.
I think the ocean is like a different story though. Like they've explored like less of the ocean than they have of like space. Like that's crazy. No, it's on our own planet, and they've explored less of it than the like endless area outside of our planet.
There could be
That's
whole like
insane.
octopus big cities and shit.
Yeah. No, I think about that all the time. I was watching SpongeBob earlier, as I do. And you know, they went to Atlantis City. Like, I was just thinking about, and like they were super advanced and stuff, like in Atlantis City. And like, what if we're in Bikini Bottom right now, and there's a whole Atlantis City in the ocean?
Is that where the salty spittoon is? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but no, it's not. That's a different episode.
Different spot.
Different SpongeBob episode. Speaking of living in a pineapple, the Austin housing crisis. Opinions on it? Like, what do y'all think's been going on? I know, Pat, you've been looking for a new apartment, right?
As someone who has nowhere to live at this very moment, I think the housing crisis is way out of hand.
Yeah.
Like, this is like, we're just to the point of like, is it possible for the average person to like be able to afford
To live.
like living, just
Yeah.
living, like, and like I don't know, like how do you fix it, because it's all kind of privatized now. It's all about making money, and so you have these people who own like lots of property and they're like renting to people, and it's just like it seems like it's to keep us in this like loop of making payments like every month, and like no one owns a car, like no one owns a house, like you're not going to own a house, you're going to rent everything. It's like you see a push kind of coming towards that, and that's kind of scary, isn't it?
It is really scary. I feel like Billy like probably has a better grasp on it too, because you've been here for longer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, I guess it's always on the rise, right? So like Austin is unfortunately one of these places that went from a place that's like a regular place to like, I guess, an extraordinary place. Like all these factories or like companies have moved here. All the tourism, like we're like the spots on the east side is like we see so many bachelor and bachelorette parties. It's like people, instead of going to the beach for the 4th of July, they'll come to Austin.
Yeah.
So like then that breeds kind of all these houses going into vacation houses, like big vacation houses. And then so those houses were built on another house which could have housed somebody that didn't have that much money, or been a rental house for somebody that doesn't have that much money. So then they buy it, they flip it, and they turn it up. I'm a little bit curious if if it's possible for the rental market to ease off. Like it's like there's so many houses in Austin, especially because we're so popular, got bought up by out-of-towners that want to have an Airbnb. Is that not everybody can be successful in that way. And then when they start failing, you're just going to start looking to rent it out month to month.
Yeah.
And you have these big old fucking spots that you're going to be looking to rent out to like a group of college kids, like a 5-6 bedroom house.
Yeah.
Somewhere over on the east side, so that the bedrooms aren't so expensive as they are on campus.
Yeah.
I have a whole different theory about campus.
Well, the thing that like is keeping me going with it is they just signed a deal within the city to like make like 30 more apartment like sky rises like in the next 5 years or something. It's some number like that. I don't know the exact, but it's like projected that they're making too many places to live, and like we're not growing fast enough as a population. So the market is supposed to like drop basically. Like rent's supposed to like go down, whereas it's been like growing like $500 every year, you know?
Yeah.
But a crash could be what everyone needs, you know?
Yeah.
Like when the housing market crashes, because it always comes up and back and down.
Yeah.
You know? Like maybe that's what people need, you know? So like, it's just a whole...
Like a widespread shakeout.
Yeah.
So that the people that have 4 or 5 houses that were all going to be Airbnbs, they all go out of business.
Yeah.
And then those houses go back into this market of kind of like more conservative investors, right?
Yeah.
Rather than the ones that are like, I'm going to get all my money by having little mini hotels all around everywhere.
It'll loosen kind of like the squeeze, like on the hold on the housing market.
I feel like Airbnbs are really going down too because they've gotten so expensive and also like so strict. Like there will be like Airbnbs where they put cameras in the bedroom. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or like they're just like too strict, and it's like I could go stay at a hotel where 1, I know it's getting cleaned every day, and 2, it's cheaper, and then 3, like they don't really give a fuck what I do as long as I pay to be there and don't mess up the room, you know?
Yeah. It's almost like there's a formula and it's too enticing, and then when you write the formula down, it's really strict. You're like, you make sure they do this, you put cameras around the house, you do this and you do that, and then all of a sudden you are you know what I mean? You are a hotel, just sort of a security guard.
Yeah.
Like everything is like a key, like basically the same shit, like a key card and all this stuff. It's like, well, shit. And then if that's took over most of the town, like most of the places that somebody would want to live here, that was taken over by. And then whatever's left over is squeezed for the other people that are already here.
Yeah, yeah. What are your opinions on West Campus? Because
I think y'all are like this secret group of people who can be squeezed, right? And because you're part of a rich organization, the powers that be don't care about the middle money, right? So like, because so many people in this concentrated area have enough money to afford the $1,200 a month for a room, you know what I mean, which is like $5,000 for an apartment, which is ridiculous. Like you can't do that in other places. Only student living is the only place where you can really squeeze. Same as with like college tuition, or like the cost of a sandwich near campus. Like it used to be like the college campus had to have really cheap stuff.
Yeah.
Because it would, you were selling $2 slices of pizza. This is what college kids could afford. Yeah. And now it's like they know that everybody's parents have a little bit of extra coin to throw at this thing. So it's like now, and then the people that their parents are like, hey, you want to be at college, you need to look out for yourself. You're like, holy shit. There's only so much money to be made. No, you know literally. What I mean? And they're expecting that your parents are in this upper echelon of earners, and just they're taking here. It's almost like a secret tax on the upper middle class, or the middle to upper middle.
I've thought about that before, because like I think what I pay for my room right now would be like a reasonable amount for the whole apartment. But like since I live with Caitlin, it's like double. You know what I'm saying? And that it's like we don't have a very big apartment. Our balcony looks into a brick courtyard. Like we don't even have a view, and we're paying so much money, it feels like. Whereas like I look at apartments like in San Antonio, an hour and a half away, and like they can get like a 4-bedroom townhouse for like $1,200 a month. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's like, I don't know, the gentrification is.
And here you could do that for like 23. You just can't live where you want to live. Yeah. Right? So like Austin's more expensive than San Antonio, but you have to move. You have to move to a place where you drive in and be a roommate with 2 other people. Like you're in a 3-2. You're in a 3-2 that costs $2,000 a month, and that's the only way to have like affordability. Yeah. But why would you want to do that when you could live in West Campus?
And it's so close to the university.
And then that's what everybody wants you. Like the world has convinced you guys to stay in West Campus. Like it's like, be here. You don't need to drive. You have a parking space. You can just walk. If you need something, you can go. It's not far. Downtown's right there. There's buses to get you there. Yeah. It's like, well, shoot. If you're going to give me all that, and then the parents are like, well, I guess we'll sacrifice. And then you go look at the other places where you're going to put your kid, and you're like, well, maybe. And now all those places that are more expensive. So now you're even squinting more. You're like, so I'm going to put my little girl on a bus from the south side to get to school because it's so expensive anywhere that it's walkable. Yeah. And like even a long walk, like 6th Street, like if you could live like kind of like west side of 6th Street, like that's walkable. Like it wouldn't be the best situation, but you could get a bicycle and bicycle to work, but you can't. Like even up towards like 50th Street, like you could get a bicycle and a ride down here. But it's far, the traffic's busy, like, man.
People are horrible drivers, too. Like, riding a bike or a scooter anywhere downtown kind of scares me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just because I'll get, like, the notifications on my Citizen app, biker hit by car. Like...
Nah, we're like a fast-driving, skinny road town.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. Do you think the solution to maybe, like, the housing as well as, like just the congestion of, like, humans, like, in the city would be expansion? Like, why, like you were saying, people, you know, they're building more housing opportunities, but like, you know, maybe like because Austin's kind of like an umbrella, you know, it's not all central and like up, it's more like spread out. It's got a lot of different areas to it. So you think like the solution would be more housing options like in commuting areas, and like it would like, because I believe West Campus is kind of like, do they need to sell, like, do the prices need to be that way for them to like survive, or are the prices that way to squeeze as much money as they can out of these people? You know, is it like, because it's like collective, there's not like one place that's cheap and one place is expensive.
Yeah,
it's
there's
like,
no options. They're all expensive.
your minimum is going to be like $1,400.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like a monopoly, and like they're like, this is the bottom price for any apartment in this area. And
yeah.
Like, you can't, none of your apartments need to be cheaper than this, and they can only go more expensive. And
yeah.
It's just like,
yeah.
Like, do they need to be that high? Like, is this like, or is it just like greed? Is it about greed? Like, what is?
Greed, obviously. I mean, they don't care about the people who don't have money. They only care about the people that do. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, so many people, like Billy was saying, like so many people who live in this area are going to this really expensive school. So more than likely, they have a family that can afford to send them to this school. And also, like, Austin is probably the most expensive city in Texas, like, to live in. So, like, knowing that those two things, they know that the majority is going to be able to pay that rent. They don't care about the minority that can't. It's like, okay, oh well, figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Go live 15 minutes away and drive to campus.
Does that kind of like seem like it's not maybe just West Campus, but more like we're seeing that on a widespread scale? Like things are being catered to people with money, and it's almost like, because you hear things about like the evaporation of the middle class. Like there's
how it's no longer
to,
it's just rich people and poor people.
Because like even if you're middle class living in West Campus, like a average middle class family, that is insane.
Yeah.
Like it's like it's only catered to the upper class, like wealthy families, and like you're seeing more and more of it.
Especially when it's not even that your rent is $1,000 for like sharing an apartment with 4 other people, but also you have to pay $400 in parking fees every month, and like I just like everything, like the pet rent. They have pet rent. Not a pet deposit, pet rent. Like you pay a deposit and then you pay rent for the pet every month.
Living here.
Yeah, like.
And that pet's not getting a job and helping you out
for
either.
real.
Like,
that $25, where's it coming from? From Billy.
I feel like the area that's like really concentrated for the people with money has been and totally still is downtown, right? Like for example, I call it the Jenga building, the one in the middle of the skyline that it looks like a Jenga tower. It's all
Coda
crazy.
will insert a picture.
Yes, right here.
It's a gorgeous
the
building.
big piece that sticks all the way out of the middle of it, that's one penthouse, and I looked it up on Zillow. It's $1,750,000, $1.75 million. So just like that's what people pay
do you know
to
what
live
the Jenga
downtown.
Tower is?
Yeah.
Okay. You do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I feel like recently, since Austin's growing so fast, everybody's moving here.
Yeah.
California, I feel like mainly, right? Other parts of Texas, whatever. And it's people with money because they work for these giant corporations that are coming here.
And they can afford to just be like, oh, I want to go to the Poppin' City.
So,
went to LA, went to New York, Austin's next.
In the meantime, while they're building all of these buildings that aren't quite finished yet with this deal with the city, I feel like the reach of downtown and the people with money is going outwards for now.
Yeah.
Because like I live 15 minutes from the university, and my rent is still way too high. And it went up again. I just re-signed my lease and it went up, and I'm like 15 minutes away.
It's booty. Scamming us.
It's tough out there.
Yeah. But hopefully, I really think that plan that the city has, like, I think that they're almost doing it to reduce pricing in a way. I don't know, but
I think they want to make it look like they're trying to reduce your prices. And really, they're just going to fill that shit in. And
the prices.
Well, but maybe, like, at least then they're going to have more subsidized housing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they have to, at least there's going to be more options for people with that. I don't know. I think that another big problem about, like, living in West Campus is you pay so much money, yet you're not taken seriously. Like, there's mold, there's cockroaches. You move in and the apartment is dirty. Like, there's like residue there in your bathtub. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just like easy cleans that like you can tell they didn't even go into the apartment before you moved in, and like look at it. Because me and Caitlin just had a lot of situations at the place that we live at. She had to get like her bathroom sink replaced because we moved in and there was like mold just all in it from it like leaking water. And it's like, there's no way they didn't see that if they checked it like they're supposed to, you know what I'm saying?
Like you're not getting your costs
and then they came and tested it and tried to say there was no mold. And we could see the mold. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And they know that you're stuck in there.
Yeah.
And the city wants you to be stuck in there. Like, that's part of the plan. They rezoned West Campus to build the higher buildings so that they could keep you, so that you wouldn't live on Riverside.
Yeah.
Because then they took away the student bus from Riverside, so there was a free bus for all students from Riverside.
Yeah.
And free bus for all students from up north, but they cut those and they brought it all into West Campus.
Did they really?
So now if you live off campus, you have to drive for most places, or take the city transportation. In a concerted effort to let the city grow, like regular people live.
City transportation is still free for
Riverside.
us. Like city buses, any city bus is free for UT students.
You just I think they had a direct route. Like
it was like from
all like the
and
masses
stuff.
of apartments on Riverside, there was just like a direct UT line.
Damn, yeah. I don't know. They say Austin's a walkable city, but I don't really agree with that.
Not in this heat, it's not.
I thought about that, like, from where I live. I could walk, but like I like punched it into maps. It was like 54 minutes. Like
to walk to class?
I put into the Glassmith West Campus.
Yeah.
But yeah, like God forbid I needed to go to college, which is like even further. But no, that's exactly why I moved out of West Campus. You're right.
I want to make a little comment. This is to the masses. I commend anybody that walks to class because I have a scooter and I will ride my scooter unashamedly because I don't know how you guys do it in 100-degree weather. Like, it's just impossible to me. Especially when like your class is like a mile away and it's like 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Y'all are built different. Y'all are actually built different.
They're just hungry for education, you know. They just
they're up and they're early.
The elements.
The early bird gets the worm. I guess that's the vibe. You know who doesn't get the worm though? These canceled female artists that have been coming out lately.
Seems to be a lot of those recently.
Yeah, and the craziest thing here, I'll give you all a little preface, like just a little, you know what I'm saying, an overview. Okay. So like a week and a half ago, Lana Del Rey posted like a culture prediction basically, where she said a bunch of these artists like were like, she was like kind of shitting on them, and she was like, I just want to be able to make music without getting criticized because like these female artists are like bad. Basically, that's what she said, right?
Okay.
Those female artists, one of them included Cardi B, which we know there's controversy with her because it's unconfirmed if the fan threw water at her first or after, but she asked them to, and then she threw a mic at a fan. It also said something about Ariana Grande, which have you heard about this, Billy?
No.
So Ariana Grande was married to like a non-famous person, and he was like a real estate agent. And they got divorced like a couple of months ago.
I didn't hear about this.
It came out that she's dating her like co-star for a musical who was also married for like 4 years, has a newborn baby. She was hanging out with his wife, him, and their baby, and like they were cheating together.
I saw the lady was talking shit.
Yeah. And then we have the Ice Spice controversy where she's getting a little bit canceled for having the 16-year-old girl twerking in her music video. And then what is the last one? Lizzo. The last one is Lizzo. She just had a bunch of allegations come out from her background dancers who were on tour with her, as well as I saw somebody who was doing a documentary for her. She quit after a couple of weeks of filming because she said that she just like genuinely didn't enjoy Lizzo's presence because of
those
like
charges were heavy. It was like assault, false imprisonment, racial discrimination, hostile work environment.
Oh man, I didn't even know it was all that. I only heard
8
a few of
counts of some like serious shit. It was bad. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of female cancelage in the culture right now. How do we feel about it? Like, I guess let's start with what was the first one that I said? It was not Nicki Minaj, not Ice Spice, not Lizzo.
So you said Lana Del Rey.
Yeah.
But like Lana Del Rey is like, she said that shit, so you think she was like prescient? Like, or like she got canceled for saying what she said?
No, she's not getting canceled. It's just, it's crazy. She made these predictions and they came true, kind of. Like here, maybe I can find the
Which
said.
which one of those speaks the loudest to you, Keller? Like out of all those controversies involving these young ladies, like which one do you find abhorrent, and which one do you think is just like whatever?
Abhorrent as in like what they did, or abhorrent as in like they shouldn't be canceled for this?
No, that they should be canceled. Like which one should be canceled?
Hot take, never been an Ariana Grande fan. I know, her music is not for me. And it's just like, damn, you are not a girl's girl. That is not...
That's literally what his ex-wife said about her. She's not a girl's girl.
That's so slimy.
It's very hurtful.
Yeah.
She broke up with Mac Miller, no?
Yeah. Well, what, like, that just... She should have been canceled then, honestly.
Like, do you not have any PR training? Like, when you are in that much of, like, a public spotlight... I don't know, maybe I wouldn't do shitty things like that if I didn't want to get dragged on the internet. Because, like, I think she kind of asked for it at that point. He was married. He has a new baby girl.
And there's been overlap in all of her recent relationships, too. Like, Pete Davidson, his ex-girlfriend said that they broke up 2 days before it was public that him and Ariana Grande were together.
So she's willing to dip.
She's had
as
history.
soon as the guy's ready to skip, she'll talk to him ahead of time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that she should be canceled for that. I think that it's like a repeated
cheating.
thing.
We've discussed this before.
Yeah,
that's a no-no.
But if this is like, like Miss Kathy 3 doors down and she's cheating on her husband with her yoga instructor who's also married, like that doesn't get the attention and the opinions of like everyone. So it's like, like it's not something that's going to be covered and everyone's going to be worried about.
So which one do you think is which one of those rises to your level of like,
I don't believe in cancel culture. I don't think.
So if you were to use just a different term, like which one's like your eyebrows raised, like and you're like, holy shit, that person did what?
If you're getting charges pressed against you, like that's different, because like if you're actually like assaulting your co-stars or your workers and stuff, like that's something that should be looked at. But I don't know, putting people's personal lives on blast for other people to have opinions on who've never met this person, something about that just doesn't sound like it should be a thing to me. It just sounds like unnatural.
The cheating, it doesn't rise to your level.
People cheat all the time.
Like Lizzo, kind of being abusive to the staff does rise to that level. For me, I would add with Lizzo is like this is a person who's kind of built their career around positivity, like being like hella female centric or lady centric, rather than Cardi B, who's kind of like for every bitch for themselves. You know what I mean? Like she's like she has way more. She has way more of the vibe. Like if I was gonna say one that didn't rise to it is Cardi B. Like that's kind of what I would imagine is part of going to the Cardi B show. Like that's what you want to see is her kind of lash out at somebody. Like this one, like is she even an artist? You know, it would be debatable.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. And then like I was looking at this Ice Spice one because I'm like, dang, like 16. Like this, like the culture has changed so much that we don't do that anymore. But the girl that was twerking, and I didn't look at any of the videos. I was 16, so I couldn't check it out. But she had 10 million followers.
What?
Yeah.
The 16-year-old.
Ice Spice brought on a girl who is famous for twerking at 16 years old. And I started thinking about it. It's like there's so many scenarios in which you would hire a choreographer to bring on dancers for your thing.
Yeah.
In the dance class, you have all like their dance like what in what are they? It's called like in hip hop dance, right? Mm-hmm. It's like it's all, in my opinion, all kind of sexy dance. So then you're bringing your talent because Ice Spice is like, hey, troop dance downtown wherever, you know what I mean? Come over to my thing.
Yeah.
She's like, so she brings on these people and they just happen to be like, one of them just happens to be underage. Where she's like, they're like, come on y'all, we're going to this Ice Spice video. So it's almost like maybe neither of them was like I know you're famous, so you have that responsibility, but maybe neither of those people is like Ice Spice or the young lady who was underage is really that far at fault. Like the 16-year-old had this great opportunity to be in an Ice Spice video, which I would want to be. And Ice Spice potentially just hired somebody either because of their huge following, or because they were part of something. They got hired through
I think it was because of her following, because I saw some screenshots of her like commenting, like Ice Spice commenting on her stuff before. Like they were like mutually friends, I think, like online. So, but I still feel like I don't know. I don't know if it's really that big of a deal to me either. Just because I feel like you said, like a big opportunity. It's like a form of dance. Like, how are you gonna get mad at and limit? And like, I guess you can hold Ice Spice like accountable in that way. But it just still feels like there were so many other people involved in making that happen. Like, can you really just blame Ice Spice? You know, like, are you really just gonna get mad at her when like, you know what I'm saying? All the people on set knew, like, or like was around for it and like didn't say anything. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Like, I feel like there was so much that went into it. And I also, like, I saw the video, like, I don't know, it just like wasn't that bad. Like, she was wearing clothes, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's dancing. Like let her dance. Maybe there's a problem with the fact that like people are gonna go watch it and like sexualize it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. Like, obviously it's a sexy style of dance, but I still feel like if you know she's 16, why are you gonna even like think about it? You know?
Yeah.
It's like a thing. Like why is that? Why is there a 16-year-old who has this many followers for that?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You know, like, I'm sure a good majority of her followers are for other things, but you know, like that's why it's such a big controversy. It's so easy to pick at. It's because she is being sexualized, and it's like, well, now you're being sexualized, you know, in front of all these people, and you are underage. And like before, it was just like she didn't have like the attention, I guess, or it was kept low, but like she's being sexualized, and like why is that acceptable? And it's only unacceptable when it's in a trendy video. You know? Like,
Well, and I feel like that's the bigger picture, right? And like with this whole Ice Spice thing, I really feel like she's pretty new, right? Like, she's been on the scene like as like a big artist for a month or two.
A month or two.
Well, like, you know, like her song's blowing up on TikTok and stuff like that. You know, she just dropped like a bunch of music videos that got millions of views overnight. So yeah, she's pretty new. And for her to be as new as she is, 2 singles with Nicki Minaj. One of them is in the Barbie movie. So just huge, you know, like accomplishments as like a new female rap artist. So people are mad. They're looking for things to nitpick at, looking
Time
for
to bring her
things
down.
to come
She
for
got
her head
too
for.
high, too
Too
close to the sun.
they thought they were filling her.
I think so.
People are always like you said, like preying on your downfall. Yeah. Like, especially as a woman in that industry, in the rap industry too. Like they are just gonna nitpick you.
Well, like that's kind of similar with like all these canceled artists we brought up, and it goes back to like my other point. Like what makes it acceptable to nitpick certain people's lives? Like I don't know. Like, it's just like,
don't you think it's like level of fame though? Like, if you want to,
if
like,
you share
as soon as you want to get that famous, now like at any point along the way, Ice Spice could be like, "Whoa, guys, I'm getting too famous." It's not like it happens to you, which you're saying yes along the way too, right? So it's almost like you're asking for what comes along with it. Like, I hate to, you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like victim blaming. Like, I'm not saying, but like when you want to get that famous, you have to expect that people are going to be looking to see that all the people are in there. To go to Keller's point, if she's kind of new at this, she's just and what Keller was saying is that we're jumping on all these songs real quick. There's this obvious push to get as much hype at Ice Spice right now as humanly possible. So Ice Spice took this shit on herself and fucking said, "Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready for this." So then the controversy comes. She should be ready, and this one's good though. This is almost good controversy because it's so easy to talk your way out of. Like, you know what I mean? You're like, well, look, she's very famous. This is what she does. I was just trying to give an opportunity to a young woman. Why are y'all women bashing me for doing this fucking thing, this positivity thing? And what is sexy dancing? Like, are you old? Like, do you not understand what it is to be like, to express yourselves? And this girl, this is obviously a popular form of dance, and this, you know, blah, 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 blah. The one that I have on here that I don't know if we're talking about is Doja Cat.
Oh,
so that was that's
yeah,
one of the things I was looking at, and like that one seems to make the most sense. And I wouldn't say Doja Cat is canceled.
What happened with Doja Cat?
Rundown, Keller.
I have no idea.
Tanna, well, I can give it to you guys if you want.
I have like a little bit. You seem like you did your research though. Yeah. But what I basically know is she's been dating this guy for a few months now, who has a bad reputation. He said some very controversial things on the internet. Like, he's got some conflicting morals. Like, as for like where Doja Cat and her fan base stand, you know? And she like was defending him. I think that he might be like he has like allegations against him as well or something, and she was just like defending him in comments and stuff. Then it escalated to her like just like kind of shitting on her fans and being like, I don't love you guys, like I'm not gonna lie and say I love y'all, I don't know y'all, like and people were being like, well, but we support you, like you wouldn't be anything without our support. And she's like, I never asked you to support me. She's basically,
can you blame her?
And over
like,
the
saying,
last couple months, it's like the opposite of quarterbacking. Like what I was thinking about with this is like Taylor Swift is just fucking laughing her ass off. Because Taylor Swift realizes that her hardcore fans are the only ones. Like those are the important ones to have.
Yeah.
So like I'm saying, all of them are important, but the hardcore ones are what keeps you going. If you want to overthrow the Capitol, you know what I mean? You just need your hardcores to come with you. You go run that shit.
Her fans caused that.
Taylor Swift has that shit. She has this fucking thing. So when she sees some lady like Doja Cat talking shit to her fucking favorite, like her best fans, like
it's
like
y'all
the
fan
who love
accounts
me,
for her.
Y'all who love me so much, fucking get a life, blah blah blah. So she's lost like 300,000 followers in the last month from what I was looking at. But it's like I was saying, for me, it's very, very obvious as to why, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if Doja Cat is canceled. Like you were saying, like, there's this thing that's happening, but there's been no attempt of defense. It's almost like you stood up there and you're like, yeah, I threw some interceptions. Like, fuck off. Like, quarterbacks throw interceptions.
Like, she doesn't care.
Yeah, and it's like, but that's obvious. Like, it's an obvious loser. All you have to do is say, I love my fans. I love this man. I'm fucking trying to reconcile the differences that y'all see, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But instead, she's like, fuck y'all.
Yeah.
And they're all like, well, we loved you.
I feel like being in, like, controlling relationships before, I almost feel like it's, like, him whispering in her ear. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's spending all her time with him. Like, obviously I just feel like you can get the vibe that she's, like, distancing herself from her friends. If she's like, fuck my fans, fuck everybody. Like, I hate you all.
There's probably there's a good probability that it's not just him in her ear. When you're, like, at her level of fame, she has a PR team. She has people who are micromanaging every aspect of her life. So, like, she has a lot going on. Like these celebrities there's a lot behind the scenes and a lot of people like working and like making these people look these ways. Like going back like a little bit, when we were talking about Ice Spice, I was like, all these controversies could be artificial, and it's all about garnering media points and like points here
to bring the hype up.
Yeah, it's all about
dating
just
this guy, like my Kardashian theory.
Oh
Like they're only dating. It's like they're only dating because they have like a Q rating level. So like Kim can't date anybody lower than a 41. Because she's at a 45, you know what I mean? So then somebody tells her, like, she's like, well, I really like Jimmy from the gym. You know what I mean? And then they're like, no, girl, Jimmy from the gym. You don't remember Chris Humphries?
your ratings.
You're only allowed to go where you are or above. You know what I mean? And then so your dating pool gets so small because nobody's as famous as Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
So she's just looking for acceptable people that she's allowed to date to keep her growth going.
Elon Musk.
Because if she doesn't date Elon, her fucking shit's gonna drop.
But if she did, Tesla stock's going up, her stock's going up, everyone wins.
Yeah. So it's in their both best interest capitalistically to
like
do
you
it.
think about how she dated Pete Davidson, he was not to her level, I don't think.
Pete Davidson's close.
Pete
Davidson was one of those people like right where he was at. Right where he
true.
was at, he was at the spot where Pete's doing the same shit, where he's out there fucking being in movies trying to trying to sell himself. Like, I'm Pete Davidson. Look at me. I'm not only funny, but I'm hot. I not only make funny jokes on Saturday Night Live, I'm also do comedy special. And check me out. I'm in movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, he's got a lot to flex.
So then he has to find somebody. And now Kim, because her level's so high, has, like, who else can, like you said, Elon, but even that is like, people would question that move. You know what I mean? Like, she has to date somebody who's feasible. Like, what, like, you know what I mean? Like, Elon's just a little bit past feasible. You're like, girl, what are you doing? You know what I mean?
Mark Zuckerberg.
Where you can convince yourself that, like, wow, Kanye, he's fucking an artist. He's a scion. He's, like, creative. He's got this. He's got that. Pete Davidson kind of the same.
Yeah.
I can imagine. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to get off topic.
No, I don't.
But,
Oh no, you're
No, go ahead, Keller.
To circle back to the canceled celebrities, you're so right. Yeah, like they've got people of like, you can't date this person, you can't post this, you can't say this, like whatever. Like You're so right. So with Doja, it's like y'all have seen she didn't get canceled for it, but for the longest time people have been freaking out of like, oh, we miss old Doja. Have you seen this on TikTok of like a picture of her from like 2 years ago versus from today? You know, she shaved her head, shaved her eyebrows. Her profile picture on what was it, TikTok or
it's so scary. It was
so
on like
scary.
Twitter. It was on Twitter.
Yeah.
Let me see if it's still.
She's gone like full blown like satanic kind of a little bit. That's like what this is. For what was it, the Met Gala where she covered herself completely
and
in red
cat.
as
crystals a cat. Was she a cat?
I thought she was.
Yeah, that could be like slippage too, right? Like this, she's not as famous as once was.
She's been freaking people out. Basically, well, because she'll post TikToks and they're just her making weird noises.
But that could be like an attempt at, bringing in some points, because they're almost like a stock, and when your stock's dropping and people are losing interest, like you have to.
And if your team sucks, you think that you made it, so you ditch your team, and then you go do radical ass shit on your own. Which seemed like that's what happened with Kanye. Like just fucking ditched his squad, ditched his people, and said, "I'm fucking smarter than y'all. I'm gonna do whatever I want." That's Doja.
That was her profile picture on Twitter or on X or whatever.
Okay. Trying to fucking
just like weird.
Stir it up.
Yeah, like she's just like she's just being like weird.
That's
like
what I also believe that, like, you said satanic almost. Like this is a little off topic, but
that's
like
what people are.
Yeah, I think that's one of the easy ways to boost like your stock, like your to get views, like. Oh, like I'm gonna do something that makes it seem like I'm in the Illuminati.
Celebrities do it on purpose.
Yeah, like it's all just like a fake thing.
So I'm one of them.
Yeah,
Beyonce,
I'm one of the
they all
elite.
go like this on purpose.
You need to start doing it.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially in rap music, you see it a lot now. It's kind of like this whole like push for like.
I was talking about it yesterday. Yeah, I was talking about it yesterday with Pillow Perks.
So rich.
I think that like Travis Scott is satanic. Like you hear some of his lyrics and like his music. Like in like Utopia, one of his lyrics is like, "They think I'm Satan." Like, I don't know, but he just like and it's like a big thing for him. Like,
it's probably the same thing.
And then he said something that was like, "I'm on fire. I'm the new Burning Man." When Astro World, Burning Man, like just like very like much. I don't care that like these people died, like not even that like he needs to like say something about it in the songs, but like don't say anything about it, you know what I'm saying?
Has to come out.
It's just controversial though. It's something that someone's gonna highlight and maybe it'll bring up in like an article.
He's gonna get interviews asking him what he meant by that.
It's better to talk about him than listen to his shit.
True.
Billy,
agreed.
What's your take on involving this? You've heard the expression "no press is bad press," right? You think that's true?
Yeah. Well, like in our society, like really? That's where like I had this theory for a little while, and only one of them fell off, right? Well, I guess two of them have fallen off, so it maybe doesn't really work. Like that Trump was so strong that people saw the strategy as a winning strategy. It's like, I'm just going to be in the news all day, every day, no matter what. And when we look at Trump, we just think about this idiot that's just as like, can't help himself from saying shit. But in reality, he's like, what's going to piss people off today?
Yeah.
And he just wakes up and he says, fuck it. What can I do to get in the news today? And then Elon Musk followed that shit. Kanye followed that shit. And Tekashi. I don't know if y'all remember how big Tekashi, how big 6ix9ine was for a minute.
Yeah.
But they all had this same game plan.
That edgy. Well, I think it's because like, I feel like
life plan. I get like if life is a game, that's the way they're playing it.
Yeah.
But two out of four, they fucked it. You know what I mean? Like Kanye and Tekashi, they're both like, well, Kanye still, he'll always have a chance, but they proverbially flew too close to the sun. Like they can, not everybody can do it like Trump did it, or care as little as Trump cared about about what half the people think.
Yeah,
I think when half the people hate you, that shit's really hard.
Because I also feel like it's because Trump is a person who he's a businessman. He's not an artist that needs people to support him, fans to support him. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, for the presidency and like his like political campaigns and stuff, yes you do, but like that's why he really didn't care,
which keeps Elon in it too, right?
Yeah.
Where these other emotional players couldn't maintain the hate that was coming at them, so they fucking had to shrink out.
Yeah, but
maybe
Elon's
never coming back.
Elon's like back, Like he owns...
Well, I'm saying he didn't go anywhere. Like
Well,
he's business, like kind of like a businessman. He's like, well, this is why I'm doing. Like he's making the decision for a reason.
Yeah.
Right. But they all, to me, they all kind of strike the same chord, which I don't remember the original question, but I think that's it. Like the idea of controversy comes like it's good. Yeah. No, like no pub is like no pub is bad pub. So but I also think there's a level like they say that too much of somebody, like you can't feed somebody too much or they get sick of seeing you. So it's like this fucking mix at some point.
Yeah. You start biting the hand that feeds you.
Yeah, so like Trump, I think that was kind of one of his problems is that everybody started like the problem started to get real serious for him because he had to keep upping the ante, always upping the game. And you're like, shit.
But even then, all of these people that we're talking about, Kanye, Trump, Elon, whatever, even if they can't make it completely go away, all these people still do have the unique resource of an infinite amount of money to at least make it better.
Their personal life away from things can be okay.
You could get canceled however many different times because all of these people that we've just named, I don't think I have that many fingers.
Yeah, like they so much controversy.
But never going to be hard for Kanye to have a really nice piece of property and a really beautiful wife.
When you're under house arrest in a $20 million mansion in the hills, like
doesn't really
when you got everything you could possibly want to go do outside in your home, it's not.
Your DoorDash orders are looking good.
For real, like you don't got to worry about anything. That makes a lot of sense.
So look, guys. I know we're running a little bit long, but if we keep it fast, I bet we could do a top 10 animals to get high with.
Top 10.
Can I cut your
Damn it.
Well, do you want us to do top 10 or we each say one
We could have
animal?
just got the fuck out of there.
Animals that we would want to get high with.
All right, y'all. Real fast. I know we're running over on time. We have to do a top 10 animals that we want to get high with. So I'm gonna try to make it easy, and don't like. There's not too much commentary here because, like I said, I fucked it up. Too many topics, not enough time. Blah blah. I better shut up now. So, with the first pick, I pick hippopotamus.
Wow.
The hippopotamus is kind of aggressive, but very big and very cute. And I think if you got one stoned, it would have a lot of really important insights.
Deadliest animal in the world.
I say my number 2 would be a clownfish. Clownfish. Funniest man in the room.
Okay.
True. I think my pick would probably be a stingray. Same concept. If you got him stoned, he'd be so chill. He wouldn't sting you. I think that would be a vibe.
Okay.
Something about an alpaca speaks to me.
I like an alpaca.
Yeah. I feel like we would just share a connection.
If you could chill, it wouldn't fucking get you. Okay, so that was 4. So at number 5, I'm gonna pick owl. Hoo. The owl is so wise. Like I feel like if I could get it stoned, like again, like with the hippo, like the proverbs and the vibe and the information that an owl would give me, I would just be smarter after the whole experience.
He knows how many licks.
A lot of
How
philosophy.
many licks it takes.
You would find out.
For sure.
I would say my number 6 would probably be a bumblebee. They get a lot of hate. It saved the bees, and I think I could save them with a little bit of...
Just a little help from the ganj?
Yeah. Number 7?
I don't just mean like any cat, like my cat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with
think
that.
about this often. If any of you cat owners out there, or just like pet in general, your pet, but I have a cat, so my cat.
I like that.
Probably a cougar. I'd definitely want to smoke with a cougar.
Why?
I don't know.
Slow them down?
Mature.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I get that vibe.
Strength. I like that. I like a cougar. So I'm going to dig deep for number 9. And I'm definitely picking koala bear. And I would think the biggest reason is that they're just so cute.
They are cute.
So fluffy.
They are cute.
Wow. So number
10, let's
big
go.
Number 10. Let me think. What is my number 10 animal? You know what? I think that I would love to smoke with a pigeon, but a pigeon from New York.
Oh, that's a good one.
Right? Like, I think they have some stories, for sure.
Do you think they have an accent as well?
Yeah, that would be the funniest part. Kim Kardashian! Like, it'd be funny. So,
I agree.
There you have it. Top 10 animals.
Leave one in the comments.
Yeah, actually, you know what? You guys go ahead and comment an animal that you would like to smoke with. We'd love to hear it. Maybe next podcast we'll pick our favorite one from the comments and talk about it.
For sure.
So this has been the Glassmith podcast. We're glad you guys joined us for our conversation. I've been Tanna. This is Keller, Pat, and the man Billy himself.
Hell yeah.
Make sure you follow us on Instagram at The Glassmith, TikTok at The Glassmith ATX, and subscribe and like on our YouTube channel where you're watching this right now. Yeah, we'll see you guys later. Thank you.
Bye, y'all.
All right, guys, so I actually forgot that I was supposed to say we have a discount code. What would you like our discount code to be, Billy? Wise Owl.
Yeah, Wise
Say
Owl.
Wise Owl. For the next week for 10% off of your Glassmith purchase. And once again, thank you for watching.
Welcome, friends.